Hey Moonbeams, it's me, Celia Marie 1243, aka Celia the Spirit Guide Whisperer. And yes, I said Moonbeam. So if you're listening to this, you are officially a Moonbeam. Welcome to the fam. I have relaunched my whole business and website. So it's not just about me anymore. It's about us as a community of spiritual people trying to just figure out our spiritual journey, our healing journey. I created Moonglow Holistic Guidance as a portal for your self-transformation. So if you haven't already checked out the website, definitely go check it out. It is beautiful, fresh, www.moonglow.guide. But welcome to another episode of Cosmosis or Whatever. As you know, I'm your host, Celia the Spirit Guide Whisperer. I am a psychic medium, an energy healer. I am a psychic mentor. And today we have a pretty important topic to explore. We are talking about how to banish, cleanse, and how to protect your energy. And in that order, and why we do it in that order. Okay. I made a TikTok a while ago and I was kind of emphasizing the importance of not just cleansing your energy, but also being sure to banish first, then cleanse, then protect. And the crowd went wild. Child. Okay. And I asked everybody, of course, if they wanted a podcast episode, and everyone was like, yes, we do. Tell us why we need to banish and how to banish and cleanse and protect. And in true ADHD fashion, I said, okay. And we're here over a month later. But listen, we're here. Okay, divine timing. There's been a lot going on in my world, honestly. And I'm just kind of getting everything balanced out. But I am excited to finally be getting this important info out to everyone. So first off, let's start by distinguishing banishing and cleansing. Right? Banishing involves removing negative or unwanted energy from you or your personal space. So cleansing, on the other hand, is going to be more about purifying and revitalizing your energy or the energy around you. So both of them are very important components of, maintaining your healthy energy balance day to day. It's really about keeping up with your spiritual maintenance. That's something that I've been talking about a lot in Moonglow psychic circles, development circles. So, speaking of circle, if you are ready to build your confidence in your intuition or you're wanting to practice your psychic abilities, join us in development circle. Going to development circles has been really important in my own journey. I've been doing it since I have kind of started reading psychically, doing mediumship, and I still attend them to this day. So if you guys are interested, see my website for more info and you can sign up there. But anyway, getting back to spiritual maintenance. What is spiritual maintenance and kind of what is the point of it? I will give you a quick version. So negative energy can linger around you and it can impact your mental, your emotional state, even your physical well-being. A lot of ailments and diseases we have is because there is a lot of energy built up there that we do not know how to release, that your body I just heard Your Body Keeps the Score. I think that's a book that I have not read yet, but I'm sure it's a good one that kind of gives you a lot of information on what we're talking about, basically. Negative energy, it can be held onto in your body or even in objects or in your environments. I talk about like doom piles and stuff like that, which I know if you're neurospicy like me, you probably have doom piles, those piles of things where you're trying to like clear the floor or clear the space and you end up with just like piles of things. Yes, negative energy, things that were supposed to have flowed away from you by now can be caught up and stuck in those places. So it's important to keep your spiritual maintenance right and tight, keep it going daily so that just like your regular hygiene, right? Your spiritual maintenance is the same it goes right hand in hand with your physical maintenance, or like, your cleanliness. Taking showers, brushing your teeth, doing those things is all right hand in hand with making sure that your energy is good as well. And you can actually do them in one shot if the intention is there and you know what you're doing, which isn't that hard. It's not all about intention, but intention definitely, it will definitely help put you on the right track. Okay, so good spiritual maintenance, which includes cleansing, like I said, helps you to release the stagnant energy, and it helps to invite in the fresh, positive energy and vibes. It clears the way for your blessings to make it to you with ease. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the order of banishing, cleansing, and protecting. You might be wondering why the order actually matters so much. Like, okay, well, what's the point? Why do we have to banish first? And I want to explain it to you the way that my guides explained it to me, why it's so important to banish first. They gave me this really great metaphor, as they always do. My guides always speak to me in metaphors. I've been speaking in metaphors since I was a child. It's just a good way that I understand, and my guides always speak to me that way to help you guys understand concepts too. So the way they explained it to me, we're going to think of it this way. Say you have a raw piece of chicken on your counter. Follow me, okay? Let's call the raw chicken the negative energy, okay? So your raw chicken is sitting there on your counter, and it's in all of its juices, all of the bacteria and whatnot. So you're trying to get rid of it. You go to get your Clorox wipe, and you are kind of like sopping up all of the chicken juice around it. But the chicken is still there. It's still there. It's still secreting. Sorry if that's like a gross word, or, this is supposed to be helping you visualize. It's secreting all of its chicken juice on your freshly cleansed, quote unquote, counter. So wouldn't it make sense instead to pick up the raw chicken off of your counter first and throw it away, and then proceed to wipe the juice up? Yes, it would. And that is what banishing is. Okay, so the protection part is kind of like sealing everything in. You don't want to seal the negative energy in. That's what I was talking about in the TikTok that I did. You don't want to seal the energy in with you, the negative energy that you're trying to get rid of. So that is the point of banishing first. Imagine then, like, you're cleaning, imagine not cleaning an old wooden floor before you revarnish it. Like, you have an old dusty wooden floor and you don't cleanse it. You just go ahead and put like the lacquer or the varnish over it. You could do it, but why would you? That's the same reason why you protect last, right? Protection is like that varnish, that lacquer that kind of goes over everything after you've cleaned it. Okay. So how do we banish negative energy? Just like with anything that I teach you guys, techniques, they can always vary. It's going to vary based on cultural significance. It's going to be just whatever works for you. But a very effective way you can use is visualization, especially if you're good at visualization, like myself. I personally use lots of different techniques in order to do every step of my spiritual maintenance, spiritual hygiene, and in fact, just anything that I do. I always like to use multiple ways to just kind of reinforce whatever my intentions are. So play your strengths, right? If you're good at visualizing, you can imagine a bright white light. That's a really common thing that we use. You can kind of imagine it kind of enveloping you, wrapping you, and pushing out any darkness or any negativity. You could also use candles, oils. You could dress your candle with oils, herbs, spell bowls. There are certain spell bowls that you can use. I just did a road opening spell bowl on Patreon. And like I said, you can combine these things together. You can actually combine your banishing and cleansing steps together, but they should absolutely be done before protection, like we talked about. But banishing itself is really just getting rid of anything, including any initial type of energy that is causing the other negative energy around you, right? So that would include if you have like your doom piles and stuff like that. Yeah, that's going to count as banishing that energy. So make sure that you're doing that. So something else that you can use sigils. I have been wanting to do a video lesson on how to properly make and use a sigil, and I'll probably be doing that soon and adding it to Patreon or possibly my website. But sigils are very helpful for a lot of things, including banishment. You could also use herbs. Herbs are really good for banishing, especially sage. Don't use white sage. White sage is, it is endangered. It is very special to a lot of indigenous practices. So if you are not indigenous, please try to use an alternative to sage. There's a lot of different types of sage. White sage is the one that we try to stay away from. Okay. But sage, cedar and rosemary as well. Yeah. Those are going to be really good. You put them in like a fireproof vessel. I have some shells that are on my Amazon store that I have some of. I like to use those. And you can waft that smoke through the area that you're trying to banish from. And so I like that because it's kind of visual, and you can kind of feel and smell like the energy changing, right? Just because you visualize doesn't mean that the energy is not changing because you can't see it in the physical realm, if that makes sense. But for some people, if they're not good at visualization, if that's you, you might want to use something that will help you to kind of picture it a little bit better, or, just make it a little bit more real for you. That way your intentions feed it better, if that makes sense. So you could also speak affirmations and you can pray. That's great, especially if you're an auditory person. Like I said, play your strengths. So if you are very clairaudient, which is a psychic ability, if you learn well through hearing, you could also use like sound frequencies, either through music, or you could use something like tingsha bells. I have tingsha bells, which I really love. I have some in my Amazon store as well. They are bells that are on a string, and you cling them together to kind of even out the energy, to dispel anything that does not belong and balance out the energy around you. Like I said, you could use sound frequencies. There's certain frequencies, binaural beats, solfeggio frequencies, different sounds with different hertz that would be good, for banishing, cleansing, or protecting, or even all of them. I really like the tingsha bells, like I said, because it's a physical representation of something that's happening energy-wise. And I think I should do a YouTube video on banishing. I've already done 2 videos, right? I've done one on cleansing and I've done the other on protection. If you guys are newish, and you don't know what my YouTube channel is, it's Celia Marie 1243. And there's actually a lot of really helpful videos, and readings and stuff on there. But we can still briefly talk about, cleansing and the protection part. So for cleansing, this step is about purifying your energy, and you're going to want to do that to create that positive environment after you've told anything that doesn't belong there to go. Banishing is especially good for, even if you don't, but it's especially good for if you have spirits that are lingering around. And again, just energy, because what is a spirit but energy? That's exactly what they are. So, you can kind of use the same methods, actually. as you do with banishing, but the intention is what's going to make all the difference. Okay. I feel like some people might be shaking their heads like, okay, well, why bring up banishing if you can banish and cleanse in the same step? It's just like, I can't think of an example right now, but there are things that you can do in the same step, but you can only do them in the same step if you have that intention. Does that make sense? And knowing that you're doing that makes all the difference. I say intention is like a funnel, helping your energy go into the right place. If you dump energy, aka, okay, so say for example, you dump water. You're trying to get water to go into a cup. Cup is the goal. Cup is what you want. So you're taking your energy, aka the water, you're dumping it into a cup with like a very small opening. Right? You can dump it in there. And yeah, some of the water is going to get in there. A funnel, which would be intention, acts like a funnel, and it will help you to guide that water into where you want it to go. Some of it may still kind of spill out, but for the most part in a funnel, you're going to get all of it to go into that small opening that you're trying to get it through. Makes sense? Another one of these very bomb metaphors that my spirit guides have given me about spiritual concepts. So yeah, if you want an in-depth tutorial and ideas for how to energy cleanse, I highly recommend that YouTube video. It's called How to Cleanse Yourself Spiritually. I will link it in the podcast notes so that you guys can find it super easy. Okay, so now once you've banished and cleansed, it's going to be time to set up your protective shield, and that kind of just does just that. It protects everything that you've just cleansed. So for protection, I really like visualization. Personally, I also really like using crystals. The combo, okay, listen, this is free game. The combo that I recommend is going to be selenite and black tourmaline. I really, really love those two for cleansing. Cleansing, protection. I actually have selenite towers and black tourmaline chunks in every corner of my office. And, that is where I do all of my spiritual tings. That's where I do all of my readings. That's where I do all of my energy healing sessions, stuff like that. And I don't know if I mentioned that combo in the video, in the spiritual protection video on YouTube that I did, but if not, there you go. There's some free game. And I will link that protection video in the show notes too. So, and if you know me, I love Florida water, which is also good for banishing, cleansing, and protection every step. If you are setting that intention, right? Eucalyptus oil has also been a very potent oil for me in protecting my energy lately. And then of course you have your charms like the evil eye bracelet, and things like that. So, before we wrap up, I wanted to hear from you guys, my listeners, my moonbeams. Should I actually do a YouTube video kind of focusing specifically on banishing? Whether or not you've watched the other ones, if you need to go watch the other videos, go watch those. But let me know your thoughts on doing that next video. You can leave it on the YouTube videos that I linked down below. I can see those comments. Or you can leave me a voice note here on the podcast. And you know what? I'll probably just go ahead and start working on the video already so it doesn't take as long to get them on here as it did for me to make this episode. But I'm getting back on YouTube anyway, y'all, which is exciting. So after almost a month hiatus, I'm going to come back onto YouTube. I've been doing, private YouTube lives for our monthly meditations, which are open to the public. So if you didn't know that, you can just get the best deal on Patreon. But the meditations that we do, they are open to everybody to come to heal, to learn whatever the topic is for that month. You can actually sign up right now. Later on this month, we are doing a throat chakra activation and a mini class in meditation. I was planning on having it live, but I'll actually be traveling for a funeral. So it's going to be pre-recorded. But it will be a video teaching you about balancing your throat chakra and what that really means, because people get it wrong literally all the time. I hear so many people talk about like, oh, well, that's because your throat chakra ain't open and whatever. And like, they have no idea what that even means to have a balanced throat chakra. Because it's one thing to have an underactive throat chakra and one thing to have an underactive and overactive throat chakra. Neither of those do you want. And a lot of people, myself included, right, are on one side or the other, or we tend to like leap from one side to the other. But what you want is balance. And we're going to talk about that in the class. Then there will be a deep healing meditation for your throat chakra. You will be able to use that whenever. And if you guys want all the healing meditations that we've done for the past, I don't know how many years at this point too, you can find that all on the top 2 tiers of Patreon. And yeah, you guys will be able to leave any questions or comments and things like that in the comments, and I can answer them and reply to them. So you guys can sign up for that on my website. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in to Cosmosis or Whatever. Remember, your spiritual maintenance is super key on your journey. Maybe you guys have been hearing that a lot. That's because your spirit guides needed you to know that. You're here for a reason, listening to this for a reason. So keeping your energy right, it's going to help everything flow in your life. And it's going to help everything flow out of your life when it's no longer needed. Okay? Your energy, your surroundings, they all directly affect your mood, which affects everything else in your life. How you see life, the people that you interact with. It's all connected. And that is Cosmosis. I will catch y'all in the next episode. Bye.